Well, our time at West Brom may have come to an end, but our time with Real Betis has just begun. Hello, welcome to Club 3, part 1 of the Globe Explorer. Coming up in today's episode, we will be playing our first ever fixture with Real Betis or Real Hispalis. I think it's Real Betis in real life, but in game it's Real Hispalis. We will be playing our first league game in charge of them against Elche. But before we do play that game, let's take a look around the squad. Let's see what formation we're going to play, because I have not a Scooby-Doo's. But let's just read this latest report. Clatworthy does take charge at Real Hispalis in a move which is sure to spark plenty of heated debate. I'm sure it is. Jack Clatworthy has left West Brom to join Real Hispalis. Clatworthy did lift the championship. We don't need to read all of that. Clatworthy will face pressure to bring immediate success to Benito Villamarin. I presume that's the name of the stadium. That's what I'm leaning towards. So I think it is. So Robin Van Persie was apparently considered favourite of the job. Was he really? I don't think he was, personally. Otherwise, they would have hired him instead of me. But yeah, West Brom will certainly be looking for a new manager. They've not got a easy task, because we've left them rock bottom of the Premier League. That's basically why I had to jump ship. I didn't want to get relegated. I didn't want to be the person to take them down, so may as well jump ship while we can and hopefully give someone else the impossible task of trying to avoid relegation. But let's take a look at the squad, see what we can potentially do. But by the looks of it, we've got some decent wingers. Don't really have that many high potential players, but we sort of do. Not really any decent youngsters apart from Roman Parente, but our best player at the club, all our best players at the club, are both wingers. We've got Sergio, who is looks like a decent right winger, only 5'4", so on the smaller side of things, but he does look very, very good. It looks quite expensive as well. 28 years old, still at the club. 28 years old and only been playing 3 seasons of football. How does that work? What was he doing before he turned 25 years old? He's only been a professional football player for 4 seasons. What the hell has he been doing? He can't have just magically appeared at the club. He must have come through some form of youth system, surely. That just seems very bizarre. At 24 years old, joining Real, I don't know what to say. But bottom line is, he looks very, very good. Then we've also got Pablo Garcia again. Looks like another decent right winger. Can play out on the left, but he is left-footed, so probably on the left will be better for him. Can use his right foot as well, so that's very good. And it looks like possesses decent physical stats, mentally quite good, technical side quite decent, quite good at set pieces as well. This is like a very good player. 31 years old, so on the older side. So we're definitely doing a system with wingers. So we've got Quentin Enchantu, who's a French striker, channel forward, but can play as a central forward. So that's quite decent. So it's my type of striker. Decent acceleration, decent finishing as well. Decent, just all round stats. Very, very good. He is 30 years old, so he is getting on the older side of things. Do we have a decent backup? I mean, we've got Shao Silva. That's his backup, I think. He's a target forward. Can play as a central forward, so that's pretty good. Then we do have a left winger, Jose Hernandez, who does look very, very good. Can play anywhere along the front three apart from striker. He can play left wing, attacker mid, and right winger. So I think, well, he is 6'4", so would he be more useful? I don't really know. I think we will probably end up doing a 4. I don't know. It could be a 4-2-3-1. It could be a 4-3-3. We do have a few decent, but I don't know if we have any decent attacking midfield or defensive mids. We do have a decent left back in the name of Bruno Leno, who looks very, very good. Decent physical stats, so a great beard as well, but he looks very, very good. 28 years old, so definitely in his prime. We do have an all right goalkeeper, but he's on loan from Newcastle, which I think is potentially interesting. Does he have like a future fee involved? Future fee of 11 million. Obviously, we've got a lot of money to spend, so that may be a position that we could do with strengthening. But obviously, in other players, we do have a guy called Sudakov, 35 years old, probably very much a backup, can play as a midfielder and a centre attacking midfielder. We've also got a great an English defender, Jay Maidman, who's probably best role is a no-nonsense centre back, but could play in any of the defensive positions. So he looks like a decent player, 6'6" as well. So he's going to be a threat. Hopefully at corners, we've got Vander Costa Silva, who's a central midfielder. So I think very much looking like we're going to be playing a 4-3-3. Obviously, we do have Roman Parente, who's wanted by Al Sadd, but I very much do want to keep him because he looks like a decent little midfielder. So he is quite little and decent pace as well. That's what I like to see in the defensive mids. Decent pace, which means he should be able to get up and down fairly simple. Box to box midfielder or defensive midfielder. So which I think at the moment, obviously this might change. I think we'll do a 4-3-3. Yeah, we'll do a 4-3-3. Don't really have any decent right wingers at the club. That's the most alarming thing. Albeit both of them are wanted, so we could. Who do we have down in the under 19s? Do we have any decent current ability players, or potentially we've got a lot of decent players. We've got a decent winger, Alberto Barbero, left winger. That's quite good. So we've got a defensive mid down there, obviously only 16 years old. Then we've got a decent central midfielder. Not sure why it says. I don't know what that role means. Right mid. Got Alvaro Pina. That's like a decent, again, very, very young. Then we've got another decent right winger potentially. Then in the B team, we've got some decent players. We've got this random 26-year-old down here. I don't know why he's in here. He is listed, so that's potentially right. We could get £12 million for him, so that's not too bad. We do have a couple few decent players. Enrique Berno, the most notable. So yeah, he looks like a decent player. So let's load up a tactic, see what we can do. I think probably Gegenpress is probably the way to go in this league. So do a 4-3-3, and then I think we'll just do a 4-3-3 in and out of possession. Let's just get our best 11 loaded. Then we'll make some judgments. Mendy is at the Nobel Mendy, 33 years old. It's quite an aging squad, so I think there's room for improvement. Might not do much transfer business in this window. Let's pick the roles in possession, see what their best roles are. Then obviously do out of possession. Then we can adjust things as of when we need to. So Prente is defensive mid. Then we've got a goalkeeper, line holding goalkeeper. So I think that's probably is his best role. So I think we'll go with that. Then we've got two wing backs. One of them's a pressing fullback. One of them's a holding fullback. That's completely fine by me. Ball playing as centre back. That sort of didn't work for West Brom, but it might be different here because we're playing a slightly more defensive formation. Then we've got Pimente as a defensive mid, Costa Silva as the attacking midfielder, Hernandez as the channel midfielder. I think that would work quite well, but one of them might need to be a playmaker. So I think he could probably can Hernandez be a playmaker? I think he probably could. Maybe that's his best role as a channel midfielder, but what can Costa Silva do? Attacking midfielder. Maybe we might move Frente to we'll have him as a deep deep line playmaker, so I think that's probably good. Then we've got Pablo Garcia out on the left, who is a inside forward. Sergio on the right, that's a winger and tracker winger. Then Jantu as a channel forward, runs into channels. Then we've got him, we'll just have him as a normal central forward, out of possession. But by and large, it's a fairly decent team. I think there's a few positions that could do with strengthening. Why is Roberto's not a centre back, is he? Nah. Oh, obviously, because Mendy's out. Yeah. So Flamingo can probably come in. So I think defensively, I think we need to strengthen in the ball playing centre backs and possibly a right back. Then apart from that, I think the squad is pretty decent. But let's just do these introductions. I don't really need to bother with them because we'll just let's introduce ourselves to the well, try and introduce ourselves. So, who's our captain? Our captain is Pablo Garcia, who probably will be playing most weeks. And our who's the vice captain? Jose Maria Hernandez. So again, two perfect candidates. Are we going to meet the squad anytime soon? Because I would like to meet them as soon as possible. Are we in the winter break? I think we're in the winter break, which is quite a decent place to come in. It was obviously 2nd of January, so very early on in the transfer window, which we will just have a quick recap of the budget. So just confirm the code of contact, not that I personally follow it. So we've got 60 million transfer budget, 190k in the wage budget. Obviously, plenty of areas that need improving. I doubt we'll get anyone in today's episode, so I think I'm pretty happy with the squad at the moment. So let's see if we can get a win against Elche. The lineup for our first ever match in charge of Real Betis or Hispalis against Elche will be goalkeeper, what's his name? Matthew Petoulier in goal, who doesn't look great, to be honest. Why is Medina not in goal? Because I feel like he should be better, I feel like. So we'll play Medina in goal today, unless he's in bad form for some reason, which I don't know, to be honest. Then we've got the back four of Bruno Leno, the Portuguese left back. Then we've got Ryan Flamingo, who isn't very good, but Mendy is unfortunately out at the African Cup of Nations, so hopefully he should be back towards the end of the month. Then we've got English defender Jay Maymont alongside Flamingo. Then we've got Angel Ortiz at right back, who is wanted by a couple of teams on loan. That is a position that we are trying to strengthen in, albeit we've asked our director of football for suggestions. And as the deep playmaker, we've got youngster Roman Parente. Then in front of him, supporting him, we've got Jose Hernandez as the channel midfielder. Then as the attacking midfielder, we've got Vander Costa Silva, who does look very good. That should be a very dangerous partnership. That's what I'm hoping for. Then on the right hand side, we do have Sergio. Then on the left hand side, we've got Pablo Garcia. Then up front, we've got French striker Quentin and Shantu. So hopefully, with that squad, we should be winning to that. We should be, hopefully should be winning this first game in charge, but they are a team that do sit just above us. So a win is definitely well, a win would be a good start. But if we don't win, yeah, this might be a long rest of the season, which I'm hoping for we do win. Obviously, if we don't win, we don't have an assistant manager at the moment, so I'm just doing this completely blind, this team talk. So I think we'll just try and get the best out of the players as we can. If we do need to change the positional features of the players, we obviously can do, but let's just see if we can try and get through this first half relatively unscathed. If we can get into our time with the lead, the big lead will be absolutely ideal. I think that'd be very good. Ortiz does rip into cross. Pablo Garcia couldn't quite get his head onto the ball. Now to Prenti with the strike. That was nearly nested into the bottom right corner. That would have been the greatest start ever to life with Real Hispalis or Betis. I think we'll just call him Real Hispalis just to have a little bit of minor confusion. But there's a Elche with the ball, and it's not a great ball forward. I would prefer Flamingo just to let that go out for a goal kick, but Sergio has got the ball now to Njantu. Runs into space. That was a great strike, but a good save from the Elche goalkeeper to give us a corner ball, which we've had 5. We've seen absolutely none of them. Why does Football Manager do this? We give loads of corners, yet we only see 1 or 2 a game. I don't know if we've come close to scoring one of them yet. Leno, Hernandez has gone down in the box. Was he inside the box, and will we get a penalty? I'm hoping we do. No penalty. That's a bit misleading. Checking if it's not a penalty, then the decision isn't a penalty. It was way outside the box. Garcia with the strike, it hits just the outside of a post. I do feel like if a right footer had taken that, might have had a bit more of a chance going in. I've just noticed in the Elche lineup, Canismera plays for Elche. I presume we sold him to it. For some reason, I thought we sold him to Saudi Arabia, unless he went straight from West Brom to Elche. Lena goes into the box. Garcia with a little cheeky backheel, couldn't quite put the ball into the back of the net. Ortiz now to Brenti. This is looking very promising. Pablo Garcia puts the ball into the back of the net, and we are 1-0 up against Elche with 20 minutes left to go of the first half. Absolutely wonderful. We are tearing them apart. What was the previous manager doing? Because obviously he was doing something wrong. So I think for now, this system seems to be, albeit we haven't played anyone difficult yet. This is our first game. Our first difficult game is against Real Madrid in the beginning of Feb, and Sergio puts the ball into the back of the net. This is on a cautious mentality. I wonder what we'll be like on a positive mentality, which we won't change to. Yeah, we will just stay on a cautious mentality. But creating chances like this on a cautious mentality is absolutely absurd. I don't know if we're just really good or Elche can't be bad, because they are, well, before kickoff they were 9th in the table. We were currently 10th, so we're not in a bad spot. At least we're not bottom like some teams like West Brom, who that is not my fault anymore if they go down. I'm sure they won't. I hope West Brom stay up, but I think they might. I think I probably left at just the right time. We're doing brilliantly, lads. Keep it up, lads. Keep this momentum going. Keep your mentality up there. Don't let it drop down. Don't get complacent. That's all I ask of you in the second half. Try and get a third goal. That would be absolutely lovely. And Jantu now to Garcia. Jantu again. This is looking very, very good play. Jantu. This is looking. Can we get a third goal from this, please? Sergio now to Silva. This is maybe just one too many passes in that build-up play. And Jantu Garcia. What a goal that is! I think Jantu might have been just a fraction offside. We are going to VAR, but I'm hoping this goal gets awarded, which it doesn't. Goal has been disallowed. I think it was in Jantu who was offside. I completely don't know who. Yeah, it was in Jantu, way offside. I suspected that, but I don't think Elche only having recorded 3 shots to on target. I don't think I was probably more anticipating a slightly more tighter game, judging by the league table. He's got to be offside. Mohamed, so good they named him twice. Must be disallowed for offside because he looked way offside. Is the goal going to be disallowed? It has been disallowed. How far offside was it? Because it might have been really tight, or it might have... No, that's not tight at all, is it? Not tight at all. I mean, the ball was already in play when we saw the offside thing, so don't really know how tight it really was. But 35 minutes left to go. We are still leading just by the 2 goals. Sergio whips in the free kick. It does fall to Silva. He lines up the strike and it gets blocked by Mohamed. And Elche look to go on the counter-attack. Diallo must say he's got to be offside, surely. He's got to be off. The Lino did put his flag up, so I'm suspecting that will be disallowed. It has been disallowed. I'd say we've been very lucky this opening first 15 minutes of the second half. Elche having I think probably two very clear disallowed goals, so I don't think we're very lucky at all. But I think defensively that does need we do need strengthening, particularly in the ball playing. Centre back Maidment, I think will be fine for the rest of the season, but I think we just need another ball playing centre back. His hacking areas, I'm completely happy with. Albeit, it looks like judging by the sharpness, the previous manager hasn't done too much rotation, which we are going to do. We are going to get on. We don't really have any tiring players, so we'll just have a bit of a rotation, I think. We're going to get on Fernandez, who is a right back. He can come on for Ortiz. And I think we'll get on Sudakov. What's his best role? His best role is a channel midfielder that we're playing, so he can come on for Hernandez. I think that'd be the only changes we'll do for now. We'll make a couple more towards the end of the game, which we do have 5 subs. I wasn't sure if that rule was different in the Spanish leagues, but we do have 5 subs. We can use 3 substitutes, so same as England. Costa Silva with a very good tackle, and can we do something with the ball? Fernandez, lovely ball over the top of the floor, enchanted to run onto Sergio. This is looking very positive. Sergio cuts inside onto his left foot, but couldn't quite put the ball into the top left-hand corner. But for my first game in charge of Real Hispalis in a very, I don't know, maybe I'd say competitive league, because at the moment we do move up into 7th. I don't know if other teams have got to play or anything, which I'm hoping not. It does move us up to 7th. Only 6 points behind Valencia. I'm not looking towards Champions League. Conference League is very much the objective. We are going to make a couple more changes. Yes, we've got a minute left, but we'll give a few players a run around. Silva is going. Is that Shota Silva formerly? No, it's João Silva. He's going to come on up front, and I think who's he on loan for? I don't know who he's on loan from, but he's going to come on for Pablo Garcia. I think that's probably all the changes we shall do. For now, they barely had like a minute on the pitch, and the full-time whistle does go, and we have won our first match in charge of Real Hispalis by 2-0 against Elche. And what a start that is. And obviously, there might be, I'm not anticipating much movement in between now and the next episode, but Sergio, if he carries on performing like he did in that previous game, I think we've got a top player on our hands. I think he's already a top player, but I think he's just going to get better and better as the season goes on, hopefully. But if we can perform like that for the rest of the season, at least for the games we should be winning, because I'm anticipating a couple of difficult games, including the likes of Real Madrid, Barcelona, Atletico Madrid, who we do play back to back. But obviously we are still in the Europa League phase, which we are top of the second in the league. In that, I think we are probably sailing towards the round of 16 qualifications. So I don't think we need to bother with those 2 remaining games. I think I'll very much play those games off camera, so I don't think we'll go too far ahead. So hopefully we are just in the straight knockouts of the Europa League and don't have to go through the playoffs, because that'd be absolutely hideous if we bottle that. So I think we'll come back end of the January transfer window, beginning of Feb, for probably our most difficult, at the moment, it probably will be our most difficult match yet with Hispalis, and that will be against Real Madrid. If you have enjoyed today's video, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel for more Daily Football Manager videos, and thank you very much for watching.